Political and traditional leaders from the northern part of the country are lamenting the deplorable state of the region, arising from insecurity, poverty, and a downward plunge from its respected position of influence in the country. The leaders made their position known in Kaduna State at the annual Pan-Northern Summit of Leaders and Elders of the region organized by the Northern Elders Forum. Speakers of the conference, including the Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Saad Abubakar, and Borno State Governor Kashim Shettima, revealed the unity and oneness of the people of the North in the past, saying that the fragmentation that currently exists amongst the people is responsible for the insecurity and backwardness of the region. Time now for business news on the news at 10. And Emana Amawe has got that.
You first. First Bank.
Very many thanks for staying with us. Welcome to Business News. An economist and chairman of the Economic Summit Group Research and Publication, Dr. Adedoyin Salami, has asked the fiscal and monetary authorities to synergize with the private sector to earn their confidence. Speaking at the opening of the ongoing NESG Summit in Abuja, Dr. Adedoyin says this would boost local production and encourage the patronage of made-in-Nigeria goods.
I would advocate. The first, as I said, confidence and sure-footedness. The second, the articulation of a development plan which articulates our development preferences and our development paths. The third, fiscal and monetary policy must complement each other. The fourth, public procurement of made-in-Nigeria goods become an imperative. It's not about saying it. It would have been interesting to learn what proportion of the government's budget, even if only at the federal level, gets spent on procurement of made-in-Nigeria goods and services. It's very important that competitiveness must be our watchword. As I said earlier, Nigeria ranks very poorly in global competitiveness and global ease of doing business. I honestly don't see any reason why over the next 2.5 years, Nigeria cannot move up 20, 30 places as far as these indices are concerned. We all know what it takes. The question is, are we really ready to do it?
Dr. Salami, the chairman of the Economic Summit Group Research and Publication. Now, significant investment is expected from the Islamic bond, also known as Sukuk, subject to approval from regulatory authorities such as the Pension Commission and the National Insurance Commission. This is according to the head of operations at the Securities and Exchange Commission, Mrs. Olubukola Hama, who spoke with Channels Television earlier today.
Now, the multi-fund structure of the PENCOM is expected to authorize PFAs to invest in sukuks. So we expect significant investments coming up from there, and we've engaged the PENCOM on this, and we're very certain that the guidelines will be approved pretty soon. With respect to NICOM, we know that insurance companies who engage in takaful insurance, that's Islamic insurance, already are investing in sukuks, but we're working towards ensuring that it's insurance companies as a whole, not necessarily those doing takaful. We expect the insurance companies as a whole accept these as a means of investments.
The central bank says it's renewing talks on the lingering Naira-Yuan swap deal, which aims to reduce the huge dollar demand pressure on the local currency. The CBN governor, Godwin Emefiele, gave the indication at the just concluded International Monetary Fund and World Bank Group annual meetings in Washington, D.C. Mr. Emefiele said his team is networking with Nigeria's partners, but the discussion is more with China on the matter. And now the Nigerian equities market started the week on a bullish note as investors take positions across most sectors ahead of third quarter earnings numbers. Let's join Millicent Mwoka for the day's trading activities.
and welcome to the Stock Market Report. It's a mild recovery for the Nigerian equities market as the broad index started the week up by 0.32% at the close of Monday's trading session, while the market capitalization rose by more than 3 billion naira to 9.59 trillion naira. However, the day's transaction recorded a slightly low turnover of 171.4 million shares, all traded in 3,045 deals for 1.73 billion naira. Now, the top three most active stocks were Zenith Bank, GT Bank and FCMB. 17 stocks led by Govt, Union Bank of Nigeria and WAPCO recorded increases in their share prices, while 24 losers were led by Guinness, Curtix and Diamond Bank, all in the top three category. And that's the Stock Market Report. I'm Millicent Walker.
Thank you, Millicent. The major global equities ended Monday's trading session in the green, except for Asian markets, which closed with mixed sentiments. Here are the figures. That's Business News Tonight. Thank you for the company. I'm Imana Amawe. It's back to Gimba.
You first. First Bank.
The right fiscal and monetary policies that will guarantee realistic and sustainable exchange rate are the solutions to Nigeria's quest for diversification and economic recession. This is according to the chairman of Stanbic IBTC Bank PLC, Mr. Atedo Peterside, who says that discrimination in the exchange rate mechanism, which still obtained to Nigeria, is a distraction that is delaying the process of adjustment. He was speaking at the 22nd Nigeria Economic Summit, adding that the government ought to provide an exit point for investors as a vital part of encouraging investment.
Committed to moving Nigeria forward. That's the mission upon which Stanbic IBTC Bank PLC is built. It is no wonder that the bank has thrown its weight for the success of this 22nd edition of the Nigerian Economic Summit with the theme Made in Nigeria. A quest for Nigerians to promote goods and services that are already up to standards for consumption, encourage exports and increase opportunities. To achieve this, the Minister for Budget and National Planning calls on the private sector to step up the tempo of their activities.
To all you captains of industry gathered here today, you should leave this summit with a renewed determination to step up the tempo of your activities, confident that you have in us a government that is determined to support enterprise, that is determined to support productivity.
But the chairman of Stanbic IBTC PLC says there is a need to create a level playing ground for investors with realistic and sustainable exchange rate and pricing mechanism.
We have to level the playing field for investors, have an exchange rate mechanism that is predictable and understood by all and is clear, and rely more on market forces and market discipline to enable investors to choose where to place their bets, where to put their money, and also for consumers to make their choices based on prices that reflect a market-determined exchange rate.
He says the complete financial services partner, which is positively involved in government's diversification agenda, is desirous of being joined in the efforts by other players.
We have devoted substantial resources, including foreign exchange, to support Nigeria at this time. But there's only so much you can do as one institution. That's why I said we need market mechanisms that make it possible for other major players, including our own foreign partners, to want to devote more resources to Nigeria today in a predictable manner.
To promote Made in Nigeria, The management of Stanbic IBTC Bank PLC says with strong finance and supporting credit ratings, the bank remains committed to moving Nigeria forward. Omelogo Nnadi, Channels Television News.
14-year-old Salisu Ibrahim, a visually impaired cobbler and pupil of Special Education Center, Bauchi, is one of the winners at this year's Indomie Independence Day Award for Heroes of Nigeria, which took place in Lagos at the weekend. The award, which has been on since 2007, is designed to identify, recognize and celebrate Nigerian children who have exhibited acts of heroism and bravery at one point of their lives.
The 2016 Indomie Independence Day Awards attracts notable persons including top government officials, politicians and captains of industry. The cozy atmosphere suggests a night of excitement and entertainment. Music and dance drama are not in short supply. The award is a corporate social responsibility initiative of Dufil Prima Foods PLC, geared towards the recognition of children who have, against all odds, exhibited extraordinary acts of bravery.
This year is unique and special as we have upgraded the award into 3 different categories, which include physical bravery, social bravery, and intellectual bravery.
Babati Milenyi Daumi, a 15-year-old secondary school student from Lagos, wins the Intellectual Bravery Award for his creativity. He has designed electronic gadgets, including a cleaner and a functional radio from scraps. 14-year-old visually impaired Salisu Ibrahim from Bauchi State gets the Social Bravery Award. He makes shoes for a living and uses the profit to sponsor his education. 11-year-old Favor Wene from Cross River State receives the Physical Bravery Award for leading the police to the arrest of a murderer right in the act.
I want to thank the Indomie for making me happy today because that has made today the happiest day in my life.
Besides the 1 million Naira scholarship award for each of the winners, they also go home with over 2 million Naira donations from kind-hearted individuals and corporate organizations. The 3 winners bring to 24 the total number of awardees that have benefited from this initiative.
Next on the news at 10, Niger Tornadoes sack 11 first-team players following review of just concluded Nigerian Professional Football League season. That's on Sports News. Stay with us.